Good morning and welcome to Life of Dave. We are back down the boat. So, me and the family had a week away, went up to Norfolk. Brilliant time down there, weather was lovely, so yeah, nice time. So we're all back now and I need to get on with stuff. I've got another busy day as usual today, so I'm just nipped down here for an hour Sunday morning. What I want to do is I want to try these in place with some new furniture. So got some new spring-loaded hinges. So I want to see what they look like on there. I'm not sold on them. I might have to drill them, countersink them, whatnot, and all the rest of it. So, or I'm going to get some nut and bolts. I think might be the way to go, like a flat head. That might be the way to do it. So this is what we got. So a sprung-loaded stainless steel hinge. So I want to see what they're like, if they're too strong or what, how they fit. So slightly out on the holes that are there. The ones that I put in for them other hinges, not a lot. Unfortunately, what that means is one of the screws will go in, the other one's going to create a larger hole. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to screw them in because that'll mess up the holes. I'll screw it in to try it for now, but what I'm going to have to do is screw one in there and then re-drill that hole on the right to go right through that, and then nut and bolt it. So I'll have to have a little nut on the back side of it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I might be able to round these up a little bit, make them a little prettier. But what I want to do is just fit that on there today and just see what it looks like on the boat, if that looks too ugly. It's got all that spring stuff on it. It is all stainless, so hopefully it'll be alright. But we will see. So what I want to do is just fit them on and then put it on there and see what it actually looks like done. I don't have to use stainless screws for testing purposes, for trying stuff out. If you're putting things on and off, on and off, on and off, and you're actually using it on the boat, you will need stainless. But if not, it will be rusty in no time. Especially if your boat's on the sea, not in a lake or river. Don't forget, if you've got a magnetic screwdriver, it does not work with stainless screws, so they won't stick to it. You will drop them if you try and use the magnet. Doing is it's pulling the glass up underneath it, so what you end up with is your hinge won't actually sit flat. You have to sort of screw it in. You'll have to take them off and just sand that down and then put it back on again. But that's alright for now. Oh, I said the sprung hinge is I'm trying to get the screw through it. It's trying to fold itself back. Tough. That does not want to go in there. There you go. A fair amount of pressure on that to get that to start. Well, that ain't worked. It's screwed in so far and then it's pretty much ripped out the thread. I swear I fitted these hinges on this one. Maybe I didn't. I couldn't have done because there's no thread cut in these holes. Got the hole there, but it's far too small. And you've got a thread cut in it. I'm getting a thread cut, but it's going wonky as you like. So it's not ideal because I'm going to end up with a screw that's not going to sit flat. Yeah, that's going to look terrible. That's gone completely wonky. gone through at a complete angle. It ain't gone in straight at all. That one wouldn't go in, it went in halfway, stopped, and then spun the thread out of it. Yeah, this is definitely being drilled, nut and bolted. That's awful. That's gone completely wrong. That one went fine. This one's just gone right to pot, that has. There you go. This is me working on my boat. It ain't got to be perfect, but it needs to be better than that, for God's sake, Dave. Come on. Well, it just shows you not everything goes to plan. It always goes wrong when you're trying to film it. You know, sit there and take your time. You can do a nice job. I'm trying to film it as well. It's just like, no, we're not going to do that, Dave. It's all going to go wrong. There we go. So they're on there. So if you can see, right, yeah. So we're just on half of the hole there. Same there. So that ain't going to work with screwing it on. I'm going to have to nut and bolt it. Now what I want to do is see if I can get this on there. See if any of these screws will go in there. Made another boo-boo. I'll come down the boat. I ain't put my old trainers in the car. So I've got my good feet on. I want to get these mucked up with fiberglass dust. Right, so let's find the holes and line these up and see how they fit. Totally different place on these hinges. That's no good at all. So they probably will work. But I can't screw them in the same holes at all. I've got to re-drill totally different holes. The spacing's different. They're massive. Doesn't space out the same as the other hinges, so I've basically got to completely re-drill the holes, which means all my holes are wrong. But looking at it, I don't think they look too bad. What do you reckon? See if I can get a view. Wide. There we go. So that would be on there, something like that. And the plan being is then I would only need to put like a little button type knob in the centre to open it with. So I thought I'll do like so. That would open like that and then snap shut, not too violent. So, and hopefully that would then hold it closed so the stuff inside's not going to open it. If it's pretty darn good. I'm quite happy with it. I think the functionality of it, they're not the prettiest hinges, but like I say, the ones that I really want, they're about 12 quid each. But I'd need to order a couple to see what they fit like and see what they look like and all the rest of it. But the problem there is I need 16 of them. That gets expensive. It's an old 1970 Shetland. Is it warranting spending a few £100 on hinges? It's like, and then fittings, because I'll need latches and all that. Without the springs, I need to put some sort of latch on here. And to be honest, I've got nothing there to fix it to at the top, have I? Really? I'd have to fix it to here, and it'd have to flick up. I'd have to make something flick up behind there, behind that lip, because I've got no meat here to go into. I can't screw through that. I'll be out into the gunnels on the side. Yeah, poor planning, Dave, but yeah, never mind. It is what it is. I've sort of half done it now. I've spent so long on it. I've got to carry on going forward, really. But that fits all right. We can work with that. So I need to re-drill all them holes and move that about, jiggle it around. I'll stick one of the original hinges on to get it in position. Then I'm going to have to work out where this one sits and re-drill these holes so that they sit in the right place. Trouble, I bought all the other hinges to do it, and now I've changed my mind. I don't like them. It'll be fine. It's just a boat. And then we've got to sort out the gap issue. Fair that up. touch in a bit of glass and whatnot to pack that out, sand it round, make it fit nice and lose any gaps. But again, we can do that, it's not a problem. Well, yeah, I think they work all right. What do you think? It'll be fine. Right, well, I think that's enough staring at that for now. Let's get this sanded down. I think I'm going to get out of here. There's not much I can do today. It'll take me too long. I've got stuff to do. Wife and kids will be getting up. And I'll be having to go home. So I need to come down this morning to get that glass, but by the time I've got up, ready and down here, it's 8 o'clock. I was planning on getting down here at 7 till say 9, getting that glassed in, but yeah, if I start that now, I'll be here till 10. I've got people coming around. It ain't happening to get that sanded down. Ready to go, and at least then next time I get to come down, hopefully I can get on with glass in it. You know, if I've got to come down and sand it first, it just takes too long. You spend an hour sanding and I ain't got time to glass it. But at least I know my hinges will fit-ish. I wanted to get them fitted on actually because I've got to order more. And what I don't want to do is order them and they look naff. And I'm stuck with 16 hinges that I don't want to use and spent 100 odd quid. A few hundred quid on fixtures. Shall I get that sand in and then have a look at them hinges? I need to re-drill that really, don't I? Fit them on. I need to get them hinges fitting where they need to be, don't they? Right, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to sort them hinges out. So let's get this sanded down and then I'm going to have a look at these hinges and see where they're going. I'm going to have to drill that. I want to make sure they fit right. Because if they don't, I don't want to order all the rest of them. And if they do, I need to get the rest of them ordered before they sell out and I can't get any more. So I'm just refitting one of the old hinges. Not old, but the original hinges that I bought. Hopefully that will line up on here. Holding this in the right place, and then I can just play around with this hinge and see how it fits. I think I'm going to end up going with nut and bolt on these. On this one I only drilled the holes partially, I didn't fully drill them. That's what I was struggling to screw that in the other half of that. I was trying to screw into that door, it weren't working. I think the other ones, when I made them, I drilled right through and screwed them together. This one I didn't. That's quite a small drill bit, so it's not fully through there. That'll do just to hold me into place. I'm going to have a look at this side. I don't really want to move the hinges because they're the same distance from each end. And that would only make that one hole out. So it makes this right on that bend, which I've got to change the radius. So if I drill the holes, I'm going to have to re-drill them once I've filled that all up, because I've got to build this up with some glass to get the radius the same as the next one, because if you remember rightly, I'll muck this one up. But with that there, bear in mind this has only got one hinge on at the moment. That's not bad. I think that could work. If I drill these and nut and bolt them, it will give me a little bit more adjustment on them as well. So I think that would work. Quite happy with that there. So let's have a it's centralised in that hole. Always walks off to one side, doesn't it? Oh, nothing I do is precision, I'll tell you. That's better. Finally, very old screwdrivers that I decided to leave on the boat. I'm using down here. I say, if they're not perfectly central, it ain't going to matter too much. If I drill them out with the right size drill bit through the hinge, it's more like a pilot hole really, so very small. Make the screw in it, that'll open it out. But when I drill it through to nut and bolt it, that's what I'll do, is like an M3 I reckon. M2, M3, nut and bolt on there with a flat head. Not enough. Right. That hole's a little bit thin for the screws to go into. There we go. Yeah, so I like that. These are a taper head screw, and these hinges are flat, they've got no taper on it. So they're sticking out terribly, you know, because they're just pulling into a hole. It's a flat finish, it's not tapered, it's got no taper there. Focus, there you go. So these screws are the wrong type of screws for these hinges, but I just want it on there to have a look at it. So we can see how it fits. So that's not bad. I'm quite pleased with that. I don't think they're too ugly. They're not the best looking hinge in the world. And functional, I'd say. I don't think they look too terrible. I think if I can maybe round these up a little bit more, just finish it off a little nicer and get some decent fittings to put them on with, because I mean obviously like that with taper screws sticking out half a mile, they look awful. Well, I think we can make that look alright with some nuts and bolts. I mean obviously it needs more money, but you know, it's got to be right. But I'm quite happy with that. Does it look acceptable, or does it look naff? I mean obviously it's all down to what I think, you know. Am I happy with it? Yeah, so it is what it is. Yes, it could always be better, but I'm starting to just weigh up what's worth it, you know. Should have took that off first. Is it worth me spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds on these? Well, yes and no. I want it all to look nice, but 300 odd quid, depending on what hinges and fittings and everything else I buy. These are going to cost me anything from 160, 80 quid to about 380, 400 odd pound, I think. I worked it out. Just for hinges and catches to put these lockers in. And that is a lot of money on furniture fittings for a boat that I'm basically rebuilding. It's never going to look the prettiest, you know. I'm not a professional boat builder, I'm just a Dave. Center hole, same as I did on the other one. That'll go in there, and then re-drill the bottom holes. Square. There. Nip it. Yeah, nip nip. Right, line that up on there. That's good. It's got a nice snap to it, so I want it to be fairly tight, otherwise they're going to chatter. Yeah, so this is going to have to be reshaped to give me my final positioning on these anyway. It looks like they're probably pulling down a little bit low. I don't want to go up too much and make it look wonky. We're going to address that. So if I've drilled the holes, I can give it a little bit of wiggle room. Go. Right, so screw that in there. It's moved there. So we can align that better once I drill it out to nut and bolt. It's pulled down slightly because of this, I think, because of the angle there. It's not flat. Pulled it down, so I've got to redo this anyway, so I'm not too bothered. What it's doing is when I'm pulling this down, it's pulling it out at the top. It looks like it doesn't fit and shut properly, but it's because of this angle. It needs to be flatter along this front at this point, which is what I've got to change to make it fit the next one. So I need to build this up. That'll bring the bottom of these hinges out. So instead of sitting flat and pulling it out at the top, that should then correct that. But yeah, no, I think I'll be happy with that. They've got enough spring on them that that closes nicely. But yeah, I've got to sort out the bottom so that it sits flush, because I ain't going to be happy if it looks like that. It's terrible. What it's doing is, because of this angle, if you can see that, it's sitting out at the top. It's not going right back. It was before I tightened those screws, but as soon as I tighten those, it pulls in that way because it's onto the camber of that. That holds it out at the top. Loosen those screws off and it sits fine. So I've got to address that, but that's not a problem. I can deal with that. The other cupboards should be better than that. And that hinge dropped slightly. It's gone slightly wonky, so yeah, we'll re-drill the holes once I've glassed this up, square that up better, make some improvements. That's alright for now. I just wanted to see what they look like and see how they work. Give me a rough idea what it's going to look like. Yeah, I think they'll be alright. So I'll put a little like button knob handle in the centre there. Don't want anything that sticks out too far, just nice and small, just something to get hold of to pull that down. So yeah, a little bit of fettling around to get that to fit nice, but I think practically that will work quite functionally. So still got to address the edges here. That one's gone alright. This one just went slightly wonky. Yeah, I'm not happy with that, so that'll just need tweaking around a little bit. But like I say, I can drill the holes out and give that a little bit of room for movement. Tweak that slightly and square that one up. It didn't go as well as that one, did it? I think that's where I was fighting with it to hold it all in place, which is why I originally put the hinges on before cutting it out. But now I'm changing the hinges. It's messed with that, so yeah, never mind. That's why I wanted the hinges before cutting them out. But I've changed my mind on the hinges, which is, yeah, it's messing it up. So hopefully, if I get some more hinges, that'll sort out the other side, so that'll come out better. Once I do that, I can line it up with the correct hinges, and obviously the other cubbies have got a different radius on here, so I ain't got to sort that out. But I can always pack that out and bring that out just below the hinge so that the hinge sits flush. We can alter it, we can change that, make that fit, and like I say, if I order some nuts and bolts to go in there, that'll make that fitting look a lot better as well. Nice flat head on there with an Allen key in it or something. I can put a little nut on the other side, spring washer or a little nylock or something. Flat washer and a nylock might be better. But there we go. So that's for next time. We'll get some more bits, get that ordered. I reckon some M3 bolts will do that. And we'll get that fitted on there, make it look nice, get this bit glassed in, get the rest of the lockers in, then we've got to tab them all in, fair them all together so it looks like one nice long cupboard with 3 hatches in. Yeah, not much to do. And then the other side. We'll get there. Right, I'm going to stop waffling, crack on. Thanks for watching Life of Dave. I'll catch you all next time. Bye for now.